As usual, the song fits, right?
Yes.
Quite fitting, quite fitting.
Very
Welcome back
selection.
to CVM at Sunrise. You are watching Ladies View. We do have on set Miss Marjorie Gordon, our newscaster, and of course, celebrity guest host, Miss Jamaica World 2010, Chantal Raymond. And the topic we're discussing today is, it's really a question. What if you found out your partner is bisexual? What would you do? And I do urge again the little kiddies to go brush your teeth, and this is going to be very PG, right? Okay. Well, I actually have a friend that is dating someone that I suspect is gay or bisexual. You know how the ladies tend to know these things, that we have a gaydar? You know, radar. We tend to just know when somebody, you know, is a little fruity. But you know, I don't necessarily know if it's true, but the thing is, if he is, you know, is it something that can damage their relationship or their career? What if it was something that he didn't act on? You know, he had these urges and he just didn't act on it. You know, is there something necessarily wrong with that?
I actually have an opinion on that.
Okay.
It's funny because I actually had a good friend in law school that came out and told me he was gay, and what he also told me is that even though you might have these preferences, you're still raised in a society that says, you know, men belong with women and so forth, and so a lot of gay people or a lot of people that consider themselves bisexual still want to have the traditional wife and kids and so forth.
So you think the bisexualism is coming from the fact of living up to the standards of society and that they really are gay and gone, or are there really people who, you know, desire both sexes, you know? And if my partner desired the opposite sex, you know, it would really make me feel insecure because there's nothing I can do. I just don't have the goods, you know, to completely satisfy him sexually. I don't have it, you know?
You do have it, you probably just don't use it.
No, I don't have the goods. You see what I'm saying?
In terms of the whole, what gays normally do, but the thing is, where are you going?
Oh my
what?
gosh.
In terms, let me not say that.
Come on, Deandra.
Just in terms of the anal intercourse.
Oh, the buggery.
Right.
That's illegal.
Am I allowed to even say that? Well, never mind. But the thing is, for me, in today's day and age, I think persons should always expect the unexpected, because nowadays you do have some persons who are bisexual who really do a good job in terms of disguising it, and you'll never be able to tell. While some persons may give signs and hints, you may find that they're not really that interested in intercourse with you anymore as the female, or they may like, and they enjoy, you know, men company more than the usual, or even with women vice versa.
But isn't this living a lie? If you're having a relationship with an individual, there should come a time when you think, or if you have these tendencies, why then would you start a relationship with an individual? It's unfair to the person.
Yeah,
well,
I think
to be
sometimes
honest,
it's
you know,
selfish.
these tendencies aren't not necessarily what they might be saying, because you have what people call, I think it's metrosexual, where you have men who just take care of themselves, you know, they're a little more effeminate than the average man, you know, they take pride in making sure they look a certain way, smell a certain way, and they're not gay and they're not bisexual. They just like to take care of themselves. And I think, you know, a lot of these gay men are very attractive. I mean, they're working out, they have the, you know,
That's
sleek
true.
looks, they
What
smell
I'm
good.
saying is,
It's
if I am
attractive.
gay, I would know I am gay. Why then would I want to start to have a relationship with a man? I know this.
But
why then would I?
bisexual.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Why then would I want to bring another individual
What if you're
into?
bisexual though, not gay?
Actually, I was reading something and
Well,
it was
then I'd
saying
find an individual who is a female or a male who works along those lines, but you can't bring an unsuspecting individual into a relationship like that. That's wrong.
I do understand what you're saying, but then remember the stigma that's associated with being gay or bisexual. So you find that persons believe that they have to live false lives, you know, and they act under false
tell somebody that,
pretense.
hey, you know, I like you and everything, but gotta let you know. No, I don't have AIDS, but you know, I'm
saying
bisexual.
is, persons, if you're a particular kind of individual, you'd be amongst a particular kind of persons who, if you like to read, you'd have a book club. That's what I'm saying.
Yes.
So therefore, let's say for argument's sake, a person is gay, and we're at a book club. Okay, we all read.
Okay, I get it.
Yes.
Right.
So therefore, it would necessarily mean that I'd bring a straight individual into my life, into the book club,
Right.
because we have other readers.
talk to the other book club.
Yes,
But-
yes,
But I feel like it's probably more of a selfish desire to feel some sort of fantasy, or to feel that it could be to feel that you're playing some sort of role in society, despite your other hint. Actually, if you guys read Sigmund Freud, he has all these theories, and I saw it in a more recent study by a Harvard professor. They said if it wasn't for societal principles or your religious background or your family influence and all those things, that we would all be bisexual. and their argument sort of is that people mistakenly believe that to be bisexual you have to have the same level of attraction to both men and women, and it's not the case according to them. That you can have more, you can be more attracted to men, but you might have some sort of sexual attraction to your same gender as
But
well,
it's not,
according to
but
the
okay,
studies.
if we're going off that theory, then one attraction would be less than the other. So therefore, you could keep the limited attraction on almost non-existent, then, and just live your life.
But remember, sometimes, for example, when for certain persons who perform certain jobs, if somebody knows that they're bisexual, it can affect their career. So they would prefer to appear to be just like everybody else, and then just live the secret lives.
That we have a
That's
book
just
club,
the way they do
and
it.
we would say, okay, we're living
But
this
it's
life.
not so easy for some of them.
But especially
I don't
think about a
think so.
society like Jamaica, where it's not
Allowed.
accepting at all. And so if you have these, say you're born with these sort of, I think there might be something to people being born, because I see like little 4-year-olds that are like hitting on girls. I'm like, how they know that so little? So maybe, but in some place like Jamaica, where it's very much looked down on, I can see why someone would want, for many reasons, would want to suppress other interests that aren't sort of.
So that's my thing. If you're suppressing these interests and you're not acting upon them, then do so. Don't get into a relationship with someone else, an unsuspecting person, as you say, and then you find them in the bed with a next man, and
I mean, I
it
guess
just
you
depends
could
on your
be,
moral
but-
compass at the end of the day.
your moral compass.
Actually,
in
I
terms of
read
your
something else
principles.
that said, bisexual. When the woman is supposedly bisexual, the marriages tend to last longer, and there's less cases of.
If a man was sitting here today, and they were having to discuss if they found out their woman was a bisexual, there would be no
They'd be
argument.
smiling from ear to ear.
No
Of course, the
argument.
men side it was the opposite, but they said no, they tend to have longer, happier marriages with less cases of hidden infidelity and so forth. So I don't know. It might be something
This leads to menage a trois, I suppose.
maybe. And they.
No, but if we're talking about menage a trois, it's not one side that is going to be happy.
Yes.
I'm sure
they don't. The guy doesn't mind.
Let's do a threesome with another dude.
No,
You never really find that happening.
But then if the woman is bisexual, then she should be fine, right?
Right.
So-
Right. So that's
right
both
there.
people are winning. But if you were to find out, because as DeAndre is saying, the society doesn't accept it. You have people who are in certain positions in the corporate world, in the entertainment world, who probably do have these tendencies because they exist. And let's say you were with one of these individuals and you were to find out, what would you do? Would you tell the world? Would you be devastated? Would you work through it with them through counseling? Could your relationship still last after finding out something like that? Let's say you do love them, everything else is good, and let's say it wasn't even that you found them doing something, they actually admitted it to you. I'm actually bisexual. Let's address this and work with it. Could a relationship last on those terms?
Well, for me, speaking from a personal point of view, I wouldn't necessarily try to pass judgment on this person. I live my
Remember,
life
this is your partner.
I live my life, but if he's cheating on me, it's the same thing as cheating. For me, it doesn't matter if he's cheating with a man or a woman. I wouldn't necessarily be devastated if I should find my partner with another man. Maybe the relationship would end, but I wouldn't just go into depression or whatever the case may be.
So it wouldn't be worse because you found out he was interested in
No, I
other
don't
men.
think so.
Listen now,
For
we
me,
started
no.
out on
For
a
me.
lie. It's
For
a
me.
lie. We're stepping.
We're
I'm sorry.
stepping.
We're stepping.
For me,
It's a lie.
we'll
You
separate, but
started
I
out
wouldn't be
telling, you
devastated
started
because
out
it's a
lying
man.
to me. Let's say we were friends and you weren't certain what we were doing and whatever. But after we've gone into this relationship where we're saying, okay, we're committed to each other, fess up, say something. You can't after years. You're going to say, oh, you know, I forgot to mention. Hell no.
No, I'm not going to fly with you.
No.
Whatsoever.
I
It
just
would be
think
like
that if
cheating.
I mean, I know it's more accepted for women for whatever reason. Actually, even here in Jamaica, I've seen a lot. I've been hit on at fiction by another woman, which is very interesting. But I don't know. For some reason, I think if you're a man and you are sexually attracted to another man, you are gay. I don't know about this bisexual
So you don't
thing.
think that men can be bisexual?
I mean, I just, for me, if we're talking about me and my partner, I say you come to me, you tell me that you have sexual feelings for another man, I would say you're gay, and then why am I with you? And I would be really mad at my friends because I feel like, you know, love is blind and I might be head over heels and not see it. But Regina, if you're my friend, I bring home a gay man, you don't tell me, we're gonna have problems.
But I hear you with the gaydar thing and friends, you know, being supportive about it. But you know, it's saying that a man can't be bisexual. I don't know, because
I don't know if it's
Chantal,
But would you be
what if they
devastated though
are
if you...
interested in females? They're interested in women. They like, and what if when they're with the man? What if when they're with the man, they're not taking anything? They're only giving.
Oh, jeez.
They're only giving.
Honestly, can we even have this conversation without talking about For Colored Girls?
Oh,
Did
yeah,
you
with
see
Tyler
that?
Perry,
Yes,
For Colored Girls,
and
yes.
Janet Jackson, her husband, I guess would that be considered bisexual?
That's bisexual.
No,
because
he's gay. That one
That's
is
what
gay.
I thought.
That one is gay.
He was, but he was very adamant that he wasn't gay. I mean, and I'm sure most people watched the movie. But he was married. There was a man married to Janet Jackson. Sorry, Michael Jackson. Janet Jackson, and but he had sexual relations with other men, many other men apparently.
But he didn't take it. That's why he said he's not gay, because he wasn't taking it.
So there's a difference
between and even in those relationships you have one that's more of a man. No, you have one that's more of a man and one that's more of a female in those relationships. Same thing with females who are gay or bisexual. You know, they have one that's more of a man and one that's more of a female.
What's interesting is that some of these things I came across that bisexuals tend to be, according to these studies, tend to be more masculine, whether male or female, which is interesting in the contrast to where you think that people are gay and they tend to have more, especially men have more feminine qualities. Like bisexuals tend to be more masculine, but I don't know if that makes a difference.
It does, because if you're gay, you're more like the female, I'm thinking, and if you're bisexual, then you're more like the man. And we might be coming on to something.
Yeah. But I wanted to ask, what's your personal view? If you should find your partner in
I was trying to get away
would it devastate time or would you just end?
Time is up!
No, time is up! I want to hear what Regina has to say.
I'm really getting the wrap-up signal.
You could have answered the question. You could have answered the question by now.
Good one.
I'm still waiting to hear your answer, Regina.
I said earlier, you know, I'd be insecure about it because I wouldn't be able to please him sexually entirely.
Would you be devastated? Or would just move on with your life?
I wouldn't be devastated because, as you said, Deandra, you can expect anything in this life, and I honestly do have everyone as suspect. You're a suspect, you're a suspect. Everybody as suspect, because you really don't know, but you can't live your life like that. You have to just let love, and live, and let God. That's what I say.
Yes.
All right?
Yes, you're right in saying so.
All right. Thank you, Margaret.